when I was going around the temple, behind the main shrine, there is a small 4-pillared hall structure. And below that structure, there is a small kind of a cave structure. That's also a small 2-pillared structure. It can be said as cave, looks like cave. Suddenly I saw one young sadhu walking out of that cave. As usual, I have regular questions for any sadhus I see. You are from where? Who is your guru? And what do you do? Have you achieved enlightenment? In Tamil I used to ask, Atma Sakshatkar Ayiricha ungalukku? Means have you achieved the enlightenment experience? And can you teach me? My usual questions. I started asking some my same usual questions. He smiled and he started answering. Other than the question, who is your guru? He answered everything. I don't know how. The day one itself we became so intimate, so close. It's not that he spoke only about Vedanta, enlightenment, the techniques to achieve enlightenment and science of enlightenment, Advaita. He even spoke who is going with whom, who is doing what. Essence of that first day meeting is friendliness. He radiated. God. I feel like I'll put one of my finger on him, on his body, on his leg, or on his hand. I'll just put one of my finger on him. Just want to be touching him. One day I told him, please you come to the house, my house. And he laughed and said, you come to the house, place where I am staying. House where I am staying. The moment he said, I know, wow, it's such an opportunity. I said, come on, take me. You only never took me. I told him, come on, take me, take me. You never took me the house where you are staying. Take me to your room. I thought inside that cave only he is staying. He said, come on, let's go. He entered into that cave by bending, and I remember he just held my hand and pressed. Please understand, now I wanted to put this on record. First time when he pressed the hand, I lost body consciousness. All these days I was with him, I never lost body consciousness. First time I lost body consciousness. Very elderly sadhus with a long beard, just like you listen and see in the stories. How the Dakshinamurti used to be sitting under the banyan tree and all his old disciples used to sit. That's exactly the scene. The scene happened in Kailasa, happening in Biddi. Was literally happening. I saw. The way he went and sat. Literally he sat like Dakshinamurti only. He just went and put his leg little this way, that's all. That's the way he sat. Where he put the left leg on the right leg and little closer he kept. Then usual posture of Dakshinamurti you see. This is exactly the way he sat. And he started answering some of the questions they all asked. They were addressing him with so much of reverence. And they all fell flat when he sat in his seat and did namaskar and sat up. I was the only small boy in that group, but I was looking around and seeing all of them. Maybe after some time, their attention turned on me and one person said, "Who is this person? He is the only person without kavi here." I said, "I may not be wearing kavi. I am also sannyasi only." And I saw Arunagiri Yogeshwara laughed. Then he said, "Then why you are not wearing kavi?" I asked him, "You give me. You give me kavi." He laughed and he looked. Immediately I saw one sadhu brought kavi cloth. And I did not even have a second thought to remove and throw my dress. I just removed all my dress. Naked I walked near him without even having a second thought. And he himself tied that kavi cloth in my hip like a dhoti. He himself tied it. I still remember, just tied the cloth and hugged me. Gave energization, put his hand on my head. So once it became little dark, late evening, he said, "Come on, let's go back to the temple." I said, "Okay." Again, he brought me back. While we entered the cave, again he was holding my hand. When we came out of the cave to the place exactly where we entered, there only he just left my hand. I saw when he left my hand only, I came to the physical awareness. That's all. Now my ecstasy is too much. The ecstasy is too much. That new kavi, oh God. I was running around here and there, showing everyone, "I got the kavi, I got the kavi, I got the kavi." First person I ran was my guru, Mata Vibhudananda Devi, Vibhudananda Puri. Her name was Kuppammal, local name. I ran to her and showed, "See, I have kavi, I got kavi." But I did not get that joyful response from her. She became too serious. I did not actually expect serious response from her. I thought she will be very happy. She became very serious and asked, "Who gave you this kavi?" I said, "Why?" She said, "Giving kavi means they gave you sannyas." Actually, she was waiting to give sannyas to me. And how did they give sannyas without asking your father and mother? Now your father and mother, your parents will ask only me, "Who gave you the kavi?" I got a little frightened. I told, "There is a sadhu in the temple. He gave me the kavi. Take me to him." She started telling, "No, no one will give you kavi. You have stolen from some shop. Tell me that. Tell the truth. We will give it back to that shop." I told her that, "No, I have not stolen. I never steal, don't you know?" She has high regard for me, but I don't know why. She was also confused. She wants to verify directly. When I took her directly to that cave, and I started calling Swami, 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 he did not come out. Almost 9 months. I know him. He is around me. Never he missed coming out. He did not come out. That's all. I was shocked. One side I have to prove to her I have not stolen. Other side she is now making a big ruckus that I have been given sannyas without the parents' permission. I did not bother even about any of those things, but he is not coming out. That was too much. Then she just held my ears and started turning it. Tell the truth, where you have stolen, which shop you have stolen. That's why they will treat in the Indian villages, the kids will be treated. She's my guru, that is why I left it. I allowed her. I said, no, from this cave only that Swami came out. I told her, I promise in the name of Arunachalaleshwara on you, on me, I have not stolen this cloth. Only Arunagiri Yogeshwara gave me. With that, I slapped on her hand. See, that is the usual way the kids will tell that, I swear. Swearing, I swear. That is the way I did that to her. In Tamil I said, அண்ணாமலையார் மேலையும் ஓம் மேலையும் என் மேலையும் சத்தியம் பண்ணி சொல்றேன், அவர் தான் இந்த துணி கொடுத்தாரு, நான் எங்கேயும் திருடல. I told her, on Arunachala, on you, on me, I promise I did not steal in any shop. Arunagiri Yogeshwara only gave. He used to come out of this cave only. When I put my hand and did that satya, I can say maybe this is the first energization I gave. She asked, did you ask his name? I said, yes, I asked. She asked, what is the name he said? Now it's like a my zone. Suddenly with all my confidence I said, he said, his name is Arunagiri Yogeshwara. That's all. She fell at my feet. She literally fell at my feet. I was shaken because she is my guru. She fell at my feet and she was weeping profusely with tears. She said, then she got up and again she was kneeling down and said, really da? Unmeileva da? I remember I put my hand on her head also and said, Satyama Pati. Un tala mela Satyama solren. Means, promise, I swear on your head. It is truth. That's it. Maybe I can say it is a second energization for her. She said, hey, we are all meditating for years and doing tapas just to see him once. You really saw him? He gave you the kavi? You spoke to him? Now she is a complete theist. She is completely able to receive the experience I was telling. Now, I have a big issue. He is not coming. I felt I breached the word he told me. He told me never to tell anybody. I feel because I told Kuppammal, he is not coming, he is angry. So I shouted, screamed, Swami, please come, don't leave me like this. I will not do this mistake again, I will not tell anybody. Please don't be like this. But I could not see him coming out. The joy, ecstasy, pride, bliss, all that. The other side, the pain, he is not coming. The fear, he may not come at all anymore. I may miss him. That is too much. When these two happened, whatever the remaining little bit of good karmas I had got burnt by the joy and bliss, knowing that he himself lived with me and initiated me. Little bit of whatever bad karmas were left, they got burnt by that fear, whether he may not come at all. This bliss and joy and pain burnt both the karmas. I just dropped. I can say, by crying, I just slept away there itself. I should not even use the word slept. I fell into some state. I got lost. I ran to the Garbha Mandir. I saw no priest was there, but Garbha Mandir was open. Those days, very few priests were in the temple. Many times, Garbha Mandir will be open and no priest will be there. The moment I entered the Ardhamandapa, the hall of the Garbha Mandir, to have darshan of the deity, the moment I looked up, I saw Arunagirigeshwara sitting on the Shivalinga. He was just sitting on the Shivalinga. I could not control myself. I screamed, Swami, are you here? Why you did not come when I called? I was talking all this and I was rushing near to touch him. Even though we were not supposed to enter the Garbha Mandir. I don't think I have entered the Garbha Mandir, but I rushed towards him. I don't remember whether I entered or not entered. I was not in that mood at all to follow the rule that I should not enter the Garbha Mandir and all that. I just want to touch him. I ran, stretched my hand to touch him. He also stretched his hand. The moment my hand touched his hand, exactly that moment I experienced, I saw clearly, he is me, I am him. It was just pure oneness. Pure oneness. That unclutching has happened exactly at that moment. After that, neither I missed him, nor I saw him separately. That's the exact moment, experientially, the unclutching, the pure Advaita happened.